right. Well, retirement realities are hitting us today, and figuring out when to claim Social Security at the right time can be a very tricky proposition. But data compiled by Motley Fool finds the most popular ages to file are 62, 65, between 66 and 67, and 70 years old. So joining us now for more insight is Charles Schwab Foundation President Carrie Schwab-Pomerantz, and the Charles Schwab Foundation is a partner of the Funding Our Future campaign. We have to note that. Carrie, when we look at this, Social Security is interesting because a lot of people say that the funding is going to be drying up, but let's just humor when might be best to start tapping into that. What age do you think is best for people in general?
Well, I find it interesting that, is it Motley Fool that just came out with that survey?
Yep.
What I've seen in the past, that the majority of Americans take it out at age 62. And I think if you expect to have a long life, it's much better to wait till you're 70 years old. In fact, the monthly benefit will increase about 76% if you wait till you're 70. And if you take it out at 62, you permanently reduce your benefit 25% had you waited for your full retirement age.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when we look at it too, though, right, it seems like one of those things that each week we have a new guest on saying that Social Security needs to be fixed when we talk about the funding drying up. I mean, when you look at it, is a piece of that just people saying, I better claim this now because I don't know what's going to happen in the future? I mean, what needs to change when we talk about funding Social Security?
Well, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, and there's a lot of work to be done. But the bottom line is that Social Security only pays, on average, about $15,000 a year to an individual. Mm-hmm. Now, I know here in San Francisco, and I'm sure in New York, that does not go a long way.
No.
So I'm a big believer in the whole notion that we do live in a world of doing it ourselves. And so we have to be really engaged in our finances and start early on by saving and investing, whether it's through your 401k or your IRA or beyond, so that you do have financial security when you get older. Because whether it's here or not, you're still going to need to supplement.
So
with savings and
mm-hmm.
yeah.
So if Social Security, as you just mentioned, only gives you like $15,000 a year, that's definitely not enough, even for housing here in New York in certain areas. Why should we care so much about when politicians say, oh, we're not going to be able to fund Social Security? Why should millennials be so concerned, given the fact that the amount is so small when you're turned 70?
Well, I mean, if you were to look at the total numbers, the majority of Americans do rely on Social Security or some portion of it. But if we could create more financial literacy in this country, where we could get more Americans that are engaged in their finances early on, we don't have to worry so much about Social Security. It can be gravy for us. So it's, look at somebody who saves in their retirement account, say takes advantage of a 401k with a company match of, say, $5,000. And if they save, say, $24,000 for 25 years at a 7% income or a rate of return, you'll have about $1.7 million. So that's where the real money comes through, is by starting to save early on.
All right, there you go. Carrie Schwab-Pomerantz breaking it all down for us. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. I'll put some of this stuff to use myself.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank you very much.
me.
Appreciate it.